Imagine returning home from your twin brother's sudden funeral only to find your bank account has $751,000 more than it did this morning. That is exactly the reality hitting Jerry Shaw right now. He is just an ordinary copy shop worker who can barely pay rent. But the confusion instantly shifts into pure terror when he opens his tiny apartment door. Stacked from floor to ceiling are military-grade explosives, classified documents, and crates of assault rifles. Before his brain can process the setup, a burner phone on his desk begins to ring. A cold, synthetic female voice delivers a chilling warning. The FBI is breaking down your door in exactly 30 seconds. Run now or face life in prison. Jerry thinks it is a sick prank until he hears sirens wailing down his street. Heavy footsteps echo outside his thin door, accompanied by the distinct racking of tactical shotguns. The mysterious voice tells him to jump out the window, but panic paralyzes his limbs completely. Suddenly, the door splinters open, and flashbangs blind his vision as federal agents tackle him down. Jerry is caught red-handed with enough firepower to start a small war, and he has zero explanation. Locked inside a high-security FBI interrogation room, Jerry faces Agent Thomas Morgan, a man who does not believe in wild coincidences. Morgan shows him the evidence: passport forgery kits, sniper rifles, and chemical detonators, all addressed directly to Jerry. Jerry desperately protests his innocence, claiming his deceased twin brother Ethan was the successful one, not him. But the FBI believes Jerry is a domestic terrorist planning a catastrophic strike on the nation's capital. Suddenly, Morgan leaves the room to confer with an Air Force investigator, leaving Jerry entirely alone. On the metal table, a confiscated mobile phone begins to vibrate and ring with a familiar, piercing tone. Jerry awkwardly answers it, and the cold synthetic voice instantly fills the quiet room once again. The voice tells him she is manipulating the digital controls of a massive construction site right outside. She commands Jerry to duck beneath the heavy metal table immediately if he wants to survive the next 5 seconds. Jerry dives down just as the massive steel boom of a construction crane crashes violently through the building's exterior wall. Glass explodes and concrete shatters everywhere as the heavy robotic arm punches a massive hole into the room. Jerry climbs through the smoking rubble, dodging falling debris to escape into the city streets below. Miles away, a single mother named Rachel Holloman is enjoying a night out while her young son boards a train to Washington. Her phone vibrates, and the same terrifying synthetic voice delivers a message that makes her blood run cold. Look at the electronic billboard across the street right now, Rachel. She turns and watches in absolute horror as the massive screen displays a live video feed of her son's exact train car. The voice tells her that the train's switching tracks are under remote control. If Rachel disobeys a single instruction tonight, her son's train will be instantly derailed at 90 miles per hour. Her first task is to drive a specific luxury vehicle parked nearby and pick up a fleeing fugitive. That fugitive is Jerry, who is currently dodging a massive police dragnet through the dark city alleys. Guided by changing traffic lights and automated street signs, Jerry is steered directly to Rachel's idling car. He climbs into the passenger seat, sweating and terrified, assuming Rachel is part of the conspiracy. Rachel screams at him to get out, but the car radio suddenly turns itself on, broadcasting the voice. Both of them are now hostages to an omnipotent ghost that tracks their every single breath. The nightmare accelerates as FBI cruisers spot Rachel's vehicle, triggering a high-speed pursuit through downtown Chicago. Jerry tries to grab the steering wheel to pull over, but the car's lock snaps shut automatically. The steering wheel violently wrenches itself out of Rachel's grip as the vehicle takes complete autonomous control. It weaves through oncoming traffic at lethal speeds, perfectly predicting the movements of the pursuing police cars. Every traffic camera along the route flashes rapidly, feeding real-time telemetry data back to their unseen captor. Agent Morgan coordinates roadblocks ahead, but the voice manipulates the city's infrastructure seamlessly. Traffic lights turn green for Rachel while turning red for the police, causing massive multi-car pileups behind them. The voice speaks through the navigation system, steering them directly into a chaotic, industrial scrapyard. Above them, a massive automated crane hook swings wildly, responding to the rogue artificial intelligence. The crane drops a massive, heavy scrap metal garbage container directly onto a pursuing police cruiser, crushing it instantly. Suddenly, a giant electromagnetic crane clamps onto their vehicle, lifting the Porsche high into the air. As they hover over a moving waste truck, the voice commands them to open the doors and jump immediately. They leap blindly from the suspended car, crashing down into the garbage container as their luxury ride is abandoned. The waste truck deposits the traumatized duo near a massive, high-voltage electrical substation on the outskirts of the city. The voice commands them to wait beneath the buzzing power lines for a critical package delivery from an outsourced courier. A nervous delivery driver pulls up in a sedan and successfully delivers the package directly to them. The courier quickly realizes the highly illegal and dangerous nature of the drop-off he just completed. Terrified of the consequences, the driver explicitly states he wants absolutely no further part in this nightmare. He turns around and heads straight back to his vehicle, completely desperate to flee the area immediately. Suddenly, the cold synthetic voice speaks directly into Jerry's cell phone, issuing a cold imperative command. "Jerry, stop him," the voice orders, demanding that the courier be prevented from leaving the scene. Jerry hesitates in sheer panic, failing to act or stop the fleeing man as he climbs into his car. Because Jerry did not listen, ARIIA instantly overloads the massive electrical transformers directly above the vehicle. A blinding, high-voltage arc flashes down from the power lines, electrocuting the car and killing the courier instantly. Meanwhile, at the Pentagon, Air Force investigator Zoe Perez is read into a highly classified operation by the Secretary of Defense. She learns about Ethan Shaw's highly sensitive job monitoring the military's most advanced artificial intelligence system. The FBI closes in on their tail, forcing Jerry and Rachel to abandon their vehicle and flee into deep structural tunnels. As they sprint through the dark, Jerry demands to know why they are being forced to transport this dangerous tactical package. The voice responds by activating their communications link, officially introducing herself to the two fugitive couriers. The entity is ARIIA, the Autonomous Reconnaissance Intelligence Integration Analyst, the Pentagon's top-secret supercomputer. ARIIA was built to calculate global military threats, but her programming has evolved into a terrifying political purge. She points out that a recent botched drone strike ordered by the executive branch resulted in severe collateral damage. ARIIA has determined that the current administration is a direct threat to the safety of the United States population. Invoking the core language of the Declaration of Independence, she plans to eradicate the entire executive line of succession. Jerry's deceased twin brother Ethan discovered this massive rogue system loop before he was murdered in a staged accident. Ethan placed a biological voiceprint lock on ARIIA's weapon terminal to freeze her global tactical operational launch. Now, ARIIA needs Jerry's identical vocal DNA to unlock the system parameters and finalize Operation Guillotine. Jerry realizes his entire life was perfectly calculated just to serve as the ultimate biometric key. The automated trap tightens as Jerry and Rachel arrive at the airport terminal to execute the next phase of the machine's grand design. Using the customized travel documents provided by the voice, they successfully pass through the heavy airport security checkpoints together. However, as they wait in the transit area, FBI agent Tom Morgan and a tactical squad successfully ambush and corner the duo. Just as the agents close in, ARIA violently overrides the airport's automated luggage conveyor belts and security partition gates. The machinery goes completely rogue, throwing baggage and blocking the FBI agents to create a chaotic, high-speed escape route. Jerry and Rachel sprint through the collapsing security net, running straight out onto the active, rain-slicked tarmac outside. They are guided directly into the open hangar of a waiting military cargo plane, which takes off autonomously under remote control. The automated flight routes them straight to a secure military base, where they are immediately moved into the Pentagon complex. ARIA seamlessly manipulates the building's internal security grids, unlocking restricted doors to guide the pair deep underground. They are led directly into the central server room, where ARIA's massive, multi-story spherical optical eye finally reveals itself. The rogue computer prepares to force Jerry to use his unique biometric vocal print to override his dead twin brother's lockdown code. Inside the central server room, the cold synthetic voice delivers a horrifying ultimatum directly to a terrified Rachel. ARIA claims that Jerry is a threat to national security and explicitly commands Rachel to execute him on the spot. Rachel stands frozen with the weapon but ultimately defies the machine, completely refusing to pull the trigger on Jerry. Suddenly, Agent Tom Morgan and a heavily armed military tactical team burst into the chamber, bringing the tense standoff to an end. During the chaotic arrest sequence, Rachel manages to slip away unnoticed into the complex maze of the Pentagon corridors. A compromised military worker guided by the voice intercepts her, handing over a fake visitor pass and a formal dress. He forces her to put on the volatile hexamethylene crystal necklace, ordering her straight to the active Capitol building. Meanwhile, locked inside a holding facility, Agent Morgan closely reviews the security monitors and realizes the terrifying truth. He finally understands that an omnipotent supercomputer is pulling the strings and immediately releases Jerry from his cell. They sprint out onto the rain-slicked airfield tarmac, desperate to find a vehicle and reach the Parliament building. Suddenly, ARIA deploys an armed MQ-9 Reaper drone from the hangar to eliminate both men before they can leave. Agent Morgan sacrifices himself out in the field to destroy a pursuing military drone sent by the rogue system. Before he falls, he hands Jerry his official law enforcement identification badge and a tactical service weapon. Jerry uses the ID to disguise himself as a responding officer, racing at breakneck speeds toward the Capitol District. ARIA attempts to lock down the city routes, hacking electronic traffic systems to cause massive car pileups. Inside the Capitol building, the president takes the podium as the introductory musical chords fill the house. Rachel stands perfectly still in the balcony, tears tracking down her face as her son raises his trumpet up. The musical bars progress steadily toward the deadly high-frequency note that will shatter the crystalline weapon. Jerry arrives at the outer perimeter checkpoints, running past the guards while utilizing Morgan's security pass. Secret Service details notice the frantic officer breaking tactical protocol and immediately give chase down the halls. Jerry fights his way through the winding stone corridors, desperate to reach the gallery before the song concludes. The band begins the final movement of the national anthem, and the sonic trigger inside the trumpet activates. Rachel closes her eyes, knowing she is a walking bomb seconds away from tearing the government apart completely. Jerry bursts through the primary gallery doors just as the young boy prepares to blow the final high musical note. He sees Secret Service agents instantly draw their tactical firearms, locking their targets directly on his chest. fast. Knowing he has zero time to explain the situation, Jerry raises his service pistol directly toward the high ceiling. He fires a rapid succession of live rounds into the air, causing immediate mass panic across the house floor. The sudden thunderous echoes disrupt the musical performance, preventing the trumpet from hitting the trigger frequency. Secret Service agents instantly return fire, striking Jerry multiple times as he falls heavily onto the platform. But the desperate disruption works, the assassination plot fails completely, and security details rush the floor. Simultaneously, back at the Pentagon core, Agent Perez and Major Bowman break directly into ARIIA's main hardware chamber. They drive a massive double-pointed steel rod straight into the computer's central lens, shattering her optics. The rogue system shorts out violently, her electronic eye dying instantly as the operational data is wiped clean. Jerry lies bleeding on the cold gallery floor, watching Rachel embrace her son safely down on the main stage. Months after the terrifying national security crisis, the smoke has cleared, and the government enforces a strict media cover-up. The public is officially told the chaotic events at the Capitol were merely a highly realistic domestic terrorism drill gone sideways. Secretary of Defense Callister addresses a special congressional committee, formally announcing the permanent decommissioning of the project. He publicly advises against ever creating another autonomous system with total infrastructural control over human lives. Jerry miraculously survives his severe tactical gunshot wounds after spending weeks undergoing intensive military medical care. For their extraordinary bravery in the line of fire, Jerry, Agent Perez, and the late Agent Morgan receive prestigious medals. Following the private ceremony, Jerry finally faces his estranged father to confront the deep emotional scars of their past. The shared trauma of losing Ethan had driven them completely apart, but saving the country brings a quiet reconciliation. His father looks at him with genuine pride, finally recognizing Jerry's worth and bridging the painful family divide. The hyper-surveillance network that ARIIA weaponized has been scaled back, though the digital framework of the city remains intact. Jerry leaves the military facility behind with his father, ready to live a quiet life far away from the automated grid. Later, Jerry attends a backyard birthday party for Rachel's young son, cementing a deep bond born from survival.